Okay, this is 1-1, an overview of statistics. This is the first section of Unit 1. We're going to cover TEKS S.2D. This will give you an overview of some of the most used vocabulary that we will use throughout this unit. What you should learn in this section is the definition of statistics, how to distinguish between a population and a sample, and between a parameter and a statistic, how to distinguish between descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. So in your notes, you should be copying from the starred slides and any examples that you feel will help you. After you finish your Edpuzzle notes, you will come back to this slide deck on Schoology and you'll complete the yellow boxed areas. And you'll then turn your completed slide deck into Schoology by clicking the Submit Assignment. And that counts as your journal grade. So I'm going to turn my picture off because it gets in the way of some of the notes. So a definition of statistics. Statistics is a gathering of data, and data consists of information coming from observations, counts, measures, or responses, and the singular for data is datum. So an example of the type of data that you might see is if you were observing your classmates, you might count how many of those people were male or female, were blonde, brunette, or redhead, were wearing hoodies. Measurements that you might take is you might have everybody stand up and you would take their height or survey them for their heights. Responses might be, you might ask them, who do you plan on voting for in November? Democrat, Republican, or Independent? So those are the different types of data that would be gathered. Once you have gathered that data, you would be doing something called statistics. This is the science of collecting, organizing, analyzing, and interpreting data in order to make decisions. So statistics, you would gather up that information through a survey, through an observation, through an experiment, or through a simulation. You would then organize the information into some kind of system, like maybe a chart. You would then analyze that data to see if there was any commonality, any kind of information that seems to be the same, and then you would interpret it based on a smaller sample, the information about a small sample being an interpretation of the larger population. For instance, let's say we did a survey of our class and asked everybody, what is your favorite movie genre? We would collect the responses. That would be the first step. Organize that into a chart showing that so many people liked horror, so many people liked sci-fi, so many people like romance, and so many people like action-adventure. And then you would analyze it to see if there was a trend that was going on amongst that group, your sample. So let's say there was 75% of the students in the class really liked action-adventure class. That was their favorite. Then you could interpret that data about all the seniors at Temple High School, that 75% of the seniors at Temple High School would then be, their favorite genre of movies would be action-adventure. So that is the steps that we will go through with statistics, and it is just a matter of working through those steps. We will do pieces of these throughout the year. So some examples of statistics is during the period of March 1st through the 30th, the CDC reported that among 1,482 patients hospitalized with COVID-19, 74.5% were aged greater than or equal to 50 years old, and 54.4% were males. This came off of the CDC website in April of 2020. A study of a Great Recession that began in late 2007 found that for every percent point increase in the unemployment rate, there was about a 1.6% increase in the suicide rate, according to the Washington Post in May of 2020. Now, these are statistics we're taking at a specific date and based on different studies. Obviously, the first one may have changed since April of 2020, as there has been additional deaths and hospitalizations of COVID-19 since April 2020, and additional statistic analysis would be done. In fact, it is continually being done by the CDC and by many of the governmental agencies watching the COVID-19 situation. So in your, when you get through with your notes, you will go back to this slide deck on Schoology, and you're going to fill in these yellowed slides. So you're going to list some of the places that you have been exposed to statistics in the last 30 days or so. And then write 5 different statistics that you have seen or been exposed to just in this year. Shouldn't be very hard considering all of the information, all of the things that are going on in the world right now, but here's a couple of examples. So you may have seen statistics on Fox News if you had been watching it. And what you might have seen would be the presidential polls. These change relatively every day, just about every day. There's other statistics that you might have seen on that same news channel related to COVID-19, related to many other things like unemployment or some of the things that are going on in various cities all over the states. So list out 5. No big deal. Okay, so we're going to talk about data sets next. A population is the collection of all outcomes. Keyword there is all. All outcomes, responses, measurements, or counts that are of interest. A population is literally every person in that population. Anybody you can think of that would have a response to whatever you're trying to find out about. They are part of the population. However, it's sometimes very difficult to ask every single person, so we ask a sample. A sample is a subset or a part of the population. Example would be, let's say we are wanting to know something about Temple High School students. There's over 2,000 students, and some of them aren't even on campus right now. Therefore, we would want to pick a smaller sample, perhaps by using a survey on Schoology, where anybody, whether they're at home or in school, could be able to answer. That would be a sample. And then we would use that sample to make an inference about the overall population of Temple High School. So here's a picture of what I'm trying to explain. So the population is like the big bubble, it's everybody. And then sample is the little bitty purple bubble. It's just a smaller group. It's part of that population, but it represents what the rest of the population generally would be kosher to. Something to note is that just because a sample says one thing does not mean that that is the absolute about all population. In fact, you could pick a different sample within that population and possibly get completely different responses. So therefore, you have to take statistics with a grain of salt. So an example of a real-world population would be registered voters in Warren County or Bell County. The parties that are responding to an online survey that are those voters, that would be your sample. Now that doesn't mean that they asked literally every person in that county the question. They simply sent it out and certain people responded, and that it becomes the sample. Okay, so data sets come in 2 parts. The first is a parameter. This is the numeric description of a population characteristic. And then a statistic is a numerical description of a sample characteristic. It's really easy to remember which one goes to which because there is a mnemonic device that you can use. The first letter of each word matches. So a population has a parameter. A sample has a statistic. When you're talking about a sample, everything's lower S. When you're talking about population, everything ends up being a very strange looking Greek letter. So if you look at the black box here, you will see that a mean, which is another word for average, has 2 different symbols. It has X with a bar across, we call that X bar, for sample, and then this funny looking U, which is called mu, and that's for the population. So if you notice that all of these over here on the population side looks like strange symbols, and the sample ones not so much. That's kind of how you can keep them straight. STDV means standard deviation, S for sample, simple. This funny looking O with a little haircut strange haircut on it, is called sigma. And then we have P hat, that little triangle thing is called a hat. And then P without a hat is for population. That is for proportion, such as probabilities. And then N, little case n, is for sample, and big case N is for population. Think of this as parents, population, kids, little n. Okay? So now I want you to do an internet search. This is going to be part of your turn-in for the slideshow assignment. You're going to look up a statistic that has been on the internet. I mean, there is gobs of information out there, so just pick one. I want you to identify the population that they're talking about, the sample that they're using, determine whether the numeric data that's being represented is a population parameter or a sample statistic, and I do want you to include the URL link in your box. So you'll just type that into this box here. I also want you to do a matching, so you're going to match the data, the vocabulary word to its definition, such as this. So data is an information coming from observations, counts, measurements, or responses. All you have to do is use the draw a line feature, and then maybe change the color to different colors so that you can very easily tell which one goes to which. Okay? And then you're going to identify the data sets. So here's an example. Example 1 is, in a recent survey, 2,800 fifth graders in the United States were asked if they plan to play video games daily. 312 of them said yes. So you're going to list the population and sample, and then tell what the sample data consists of. So the population here is talking about fifth graders in the United States. Do you believe that there are only 2,800 fifth graders in the entire United States? No. So we would say all fifth graders in the United States would be the population. We took out of that all fifth graders 2,800 fifth graders, and they surveyed them. Okay, so that's how you can tell what the population is versus the sample. Is it the all, or is it just a little bitty piece of it? Okay, that is always the question you're asking yourself when you're trying to decide population versus sample. Is this the all or a little piece? And what is the sample data? Well, the sample data comes from their responses. The sample data there was 312 of them that said yes. The rest of them said no. So what's the difference? 312 out of 2,800 is 2,488. And then finally, I want you to identify, is this a parameter or a statistic being described? Okay? And then explain your reasoning. So a recent survey of 150 staffing agencies reported that the average starting salary for the mechanical engineering majors is $41,235. Again, are they talking about all the staffing agencies in the entire world, United States? They didn't really specify there, did they? So here, is there only 150 staffing agencies in even Temple, Texas? Well, no, there's actually about 5 in Temple, Texas, but in Texas, there's definitely more than 150. So this is talking about a statistic. That 41,235 is a statistic. So why is this statistic? Well, it's based on a subset of the population. There's more than 150 staffing agencies even in Texas, much less the entire United States or the world. So that's how you would check it. Okay, branches of the statistics. There are 2 branches of statistics. There is descriptive statistics, which is the branch of statistics that involves the organization, summarization, and display of data. That is 90% of what we do in this class, okay? The rest of it is inferential statistic, and we'll get to that. Here's an example of descriptive statistics. For unmarried men, approximately 70% were alive at the age of 65. For married men, 90% were alive. So this is just an observation. They took a survey and said at age 65, 70% of the people that were not married were still alive. And then if they were married, 90% of the people that was examined or surveyed or something like that, records were surveyed. So inferential statistics is a branch of statistics that involves using a sample to draw conclusions about the population. A basic tool in the study of inferential statistics is probability. It is a percentage of, okay? So an example would be using what we just saw in the descriptive statistics, we can give a possible inference that being married is associated with a longer life in men, because our descriptive statistics said 90% of men who were married were alive at age 65, whereas 70% were not, or 70% were unmarried. So that gives us kind of a inference. Now that does not mean that married men will all be alive at 65. Obviously 10% were not. Also doesn't mean that all people that are unmarried men will die by the age of 65. That is also not true. But we can infer that being married is associated with a longer life in men. That we can infer. Okay, so that is all of the notes for this section. Remember to go back into Schoology and go back and do your yellowed things. And remember, the starred slides are the ones that you need to copy. Again, the definitions. If you want to copy the examples on, say, this slide, you can actually do that, but you are not required to. Okay, and that is it.